I'll never forget the day of my arrest. It was August the 11th, 1987. I was 23 years old and I'd never been incarcerated before. But I was facing a sentence of life without the possibility of parole, and I had no idea what to expect. So I made every bad decision a guy could make, and that is the reason for today's video. I'm providing you with this new resource we created, our nonprofit created, to try and help anybody who is going into the system. The day that I got arrested, I remember waking up that morning, I was actually doing a business transaction that morning, not an illegitimate business transaction. But while I was in an office, I remember calling home, or rather the woman to whom I was married called home, and she learned that there were 3 police officers from Seattle visiting our home in Kiscane, Florida. Now, there was no officers coming from Seattle to visit me in Key Biscayne, Florida, unless they had very bad news, and that was likely that I was under arrest. So I started making a series of decisions, calling the defense attorney that I had hired long beforehand, just in case this day ever came. And that led to just a series of many other bad decisions, including going home, getting arrested, being locked in detention without bond, being locked in solitary confinement for a year, deferring to my defense attorney for every decision, proceeding through trial, committing perjury on the witness stand, and ultimately getting sentenced to 45 years. Well, today's video, I'm going to be offering a playbook to anybody who is going into the system, and this is the first time I'm getting an opportunity to share it. So it's available for free, just like everything at Prison Professors is available for free. And we're going to be sending this out to thousands of defense attorneys, calling it an Earning Freedom Playbook. It's a guide on self-advocacy for people going to prison, or for the advocates who work with them. So the Prison Professors, as it says here, is a nonprofit committed to empowering justice-impacted people with free, self-directed learning resources. And the reason that I decided to put this project together is because of a memorandum that came out not long ago on June 17th, 2025 from the U.S. Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Prisons. Okay, this is a very important memorandum that I have written about before, and I intend to bring a lot of attention to because it's such a big deal. You see, there's a new director in the Bureau of Prisons, and he is really bringing a lot of innovative changes. In fact, he's talking about avoiding wasting millions of taxpayer dollars on unnecessary incarceration. That, my friends, is a big deal. You know, I said that I received a 45-year prison term, or at least I think I said that already. But the reality is I was as ready to come home from prison as I ever would have been after 8 years. By the time I had 8 years in, I'd already earned a bachelor's degree, a master's degree. I'd become a published author. I was in my early 30s and could have gone on to build a life. But instead, I had to serve another 18 years, so for a total of 26 years in prison. And that is a total waste of taxpayer dollars because there was no mechanism to assess whether continued incarceration was warranted. So this memorandum is saying they're changing that. And that is a very big deal, but it's also very important for people to do their work and demonstrate that they are worthy candidates for relief. And the harder somebody works, the more effectively they're going to become at self-advocacy and getting out. And this brochure is really helping defense attorneys understand the changes that are coming, and also showing why we are a great resource to help. We are a nonprofit. We're rooted in lived experiences. We have a mission statement of doing everything for free, offering all of these resources because we truly believe that anybody going into the prison system, they're going through enough hardship. They've already got enough challenges, and they don't need to be burdened by paying for fees for things that they can do themselves. And anybody could learn how to self-advocate. Our nonprofit teaches anybody who's willing to invest the time and the energy. And I never ask anyone to do anything that I didn't do. I am always truthful, and I'm always showing how I learned from leaders, and that's all I am doing with our nonprofit, is passing this information along to as many people as possible with hopes that they can get the same outcome. And the only reason I'm able to do this is because I've become successful in building other businesses that I don't need money from individuals who are already going through struggle. So this is like a ministry for me. It's something I feel very passionately about, helping people learn how to prepare themselves for the best possible outcome, regardless of what stage of the journey they may be in. Some people may be at the very beginning. They haven't even been charged yet. Some people may have been charged, but they haven't pleaded guilty yet. Some people may be going through a pre-sentence investigation, or getting ready for sentencing, or getting ready for prison, or they're already home and trying to advocate for themselves while they're on supervised release or get executive clemency. There's so many unknowns, but there's none that I haven't gone through personally, and that's the reason that I feel compelled to share as many resources as I possibly can. That's the way we can inspire change, and we have to do it in a self-directed way so that people might go in without much hope, but they could figure out a path on how to advance themselves to a higher level of liberty at the soonest possible time. So I always make 3 promises, as I said: to be honest through all my work, never ask anybody to do anything I didn't do, and never charge anyone a penny. You can see I've been doing this for a long time. This image is a little bit blurry, but you could see that I published this article, Incentivizing Excellence, a suggestion for merit-based reductions from a 26-year federal prison insider. That was back in 2015. It's available to anybody who just Googles Michael Santos and UC Hastings Law Review. You'll be able to see that this is not something I'm new at teaching. This is something I've lived for multiple decades. And while going through the journey, I've built pathways to self-advocacy that worked for me and that I try to teach to others so that they too can build the best possible outcome. And we reach more than 1 million people in jails and prisons across America. But all of this is really not about millions of people. It's about you. If you're going into this system, or you have or you're advocating for people who are going into this system, I encourage you, ask good questions. Find responses that are going to help empower you through this journey. This entire project is to try and lessen the number of people who go into the prison system not knowing what to do with their journey. As you can see here from this portion of the booklet, we've got a lot of books that I wrote trying to help people who need to help themselves, because the prison system isn't going to change your life, and you don't want to go through prison without a solid plan on how to get out. That's why we offer lessons. You can get self-directed learning programs. You can memorialize your progress, build support, create assets for self-advocacy, and strengthen all of your reform efforts. I'm really proud to be working with the Bureau of Prisons and many other institutions across the country, because people in jail and prison, or who are going through it, I kind of feel like you're my brothers and sisters and family members, and I know what it's like to have all of your hope obliterated by everything that you're seeing. But I also know the responsibility is on you. No one should work harder than you to position yourself for success at the earliest possible time. And success is going to be how you define it. I'm going to define it by saying you're going to get through prison with your dignity intact. You're going to emerge with opportunities to earn a living and build a life and move forward far beyond the challenges you're going through now. And there's a methodical way of doing it. You can get all of that information for free at prisonprofessors.org. I hope that you use it. I hope that you'll become a member of our community, and I hope you know that I believe in you. My name is Michael Santos. I'm the founder of Prison Professors, and I just want you to stay cool.